Hey everyone and welcome back to the sports section. I'm your host Neil Rosen. So you probably clicked on this video because you've probably heard or seen some clips with regards to the Kings League, Gerard Pique shiny little object. So in this video I'm going to explain to you what exactly is the Kings League, the rules, why it started, why in my opinion it won't really change the game of football, even though Pique's goal is to change the rules of football. He even said it himself not so long ago. He thinks that 90 minutes is way too long. He says, let's look for rules that are more entertaining. My feeling is that the product of football is outdated. Well, that's just his opinion. In my opinion, if we are trying to make everything TikTok style, well, we're going to produce a civilization of absolute morons. But hey, let's go back to the topic of this video. So, Gerard Pique, a retired football player who played for FC Barcelona, he founded a company called Kosmos, which they say is creating the future of sports and entertainment. In case you never heard of it, here are some examples of their investments/partnerships. So first up is Kosmos Tennis. So it is a subsidiary of Kosmos focused on developing and organizing global tennis events. In 2018, they signed a 25-year agreement with the International Tennis Federation to organize and develop the Davis Cup, the world's largest international tennis competition born in the 1900s. Now, yes, the format has changed, but not so long ago, I believe, a week or two ago, news came out that, well, they're not extending their agreement anymore. Next up, we have Dominic Thiem here. So Cosmos Management is a boutique athlete representation agency, which is part of the Cosmos group of companies founded by Gerard Pique. The Cosmos Management division is designed to be an exclusive group of clients who demand the best of themselves and those involved in their careers. In this case, Dominic Thiem, unfortunately, since his injury, he's not really been such a top player. Then we have Cosmos Football. So the football division within the Cosmos group, Cosmos team, is focused on the development, marketing and management of global football properties. In 2018, the company acquired FC Andorra, optimizing the club at all levels and taken the first team from the 5th Spanish national category to the professional football Spanish 2nd division in just 4 years. With the promotion to La Liga, the club wants to continue growing and reach the highest level both in sports and in business, I believe more in business, providing the project with the best professionals and cutting-edge infrastructures. Then we have Cosmos Studios, a Barcelona-based production company that creates, produces and packages cutting-edge sports and entertainment content. I believe there's also a link here to the fact that you bring the Spanish Football Cup, the Copa del Rey, you bring the final or even the Super Cup to Saudi Arabia or some other country that is not Spain. The same thing happened with the Super Cup of Italy. In my opinion, it's a disgrace. I think it's a disrespect to Italian or Spanish fans that you bring the cup of football, that final or that Super Cup, outside of the country. Makes no sense. Of course, it makes sense when you think of the money. I mean, imagine if the FA Cup was played in Melbourne or Qatar or whatever. Just doesn't make any sense. And then lastly is the esports club, so KOI, created by Cosmos and Ibai Llanos, which will also be mentioned during the Kings League segment of this video. So founded in December 2021, the club already has 2 teams, League of Legends, which competes in the Spanish Superliga, and Valorant, which after 1 season competing in Spain has won a place for 2023 in the VCT, the biggest European competition. So quite a diverse portfolio. And now the reason you clicked on this video, let's talk about the Kings League. So what is it? What's the format? So basically it goes like this. It's a 12-team competition playing 7v7. Each team has 12 players. The first 10 players are picked via a draft streamed on Twitch. Anyone could register. The other 2 players, the 11th and 12th players, are called ringers, most likely ex-pros. Now the 11th player has to be the same player all season long or all tournament long, while the 12th player can change from week to week. For example, Agüero and Iker Casillas are what we call residents, and a player like Chicharito was the 12th player, so he doesn't really need to be there each and every week because remember, pro players still have to pay for their clubs that pay their wages. So sometimes there might be some conflict of interest here, and that's also why you had a player come in and didn't show his face because his parent club didn't let him go there. Now imagine, you're getting paid weekly to play professional football for your club, yet you decide to dress up and go and play a 7v7 with strange rules, which we're going to talk about in a bit. Now imagine what happens if you get injured. Anyways, circling back to the Kings League. Here are the rules, and some of these rules, if you're playing FIFA, for example, you know that there is these FIFA game modes where if you score a goal, a player on your team leaves. There are some different rules there. Makes it interesting, could make football a bit more interesting as well. Yes, some of these rules actually could be implemented in the OG football game. So let's get into that. So rule number 1, in the event of a tie, the winner of each match is decided with a penalty shootout from midfield. Basically, the way it has been done in the past in the United States, you get the ball and then I believe you get a couple of seconds to shoot and score. Pretty cool concept, which I think could be interesting if they bring it back to the real football game. Rule number 2, in the Kings League, we play offside. Okay. Rule number 3, throw-ins are done by hand. Usually when you play 7v7, 5v5, you do it by foot, but by hand works as well. Rule number 4, player substitutions during the match are unlimited. And this is something I think should be implemented in the real football game. A bit like NBA style substitution, you can reuse a player, rest him, put him back after 10 minutes or so, or 15 minutes. Maybe you make a rule for that, I don't know. But this could be interesting. We already went from 3 subs to 5 subs, which is great. Should prevent injuries, which, if you're a Chelsea fan like myself, is not really helping much. Continuing here, rule number 5, the yellow card means a 2-minute suspension, the red 5 minutes until a substitute enters. I think this should not be implemented in the real game. A yellow card-ish maybe, but a red card no, because then you can have players that get legs broken and, well, oh, okay, you get out for a couple of minutes and then you get back on. No, it just doesn't make any sense. Up next, for the kickoff, the ball is placed in the center of the field and the player starts from the end line, as you can probably see from the video that I will pop up on the screen here. Rule number 7, the numbers go from 0 to 99. Okay. Rule number 8, the matches are in parts of 20 minutes. So 20 minutes each match, fine. If it's streamed on Twitch, probably makes sense. Then number 9, secret weapons, aka the gold cards. So each team has a card chosen at random that gives them an advantage only once per game. So it's still in Spanish here. So number 1, penalty in favor, which means you can use that card, you get a direct penalty. Number 2, shootout in favor. I don't really know what's the difference here, but okay, it's translated, so maybe that's why it doesn't make any sense. Number 3, I will pop up the real explanation on the screen. Number 3, exclusion of a rival for 2 minutes. Basically, a player from the opposite team goes out for 2 minutes. Rule number 4, if you score a goal, it counts for 2. Rule number 5, it's a wild card. It's a joker, basically. Whatever pops up, you'll get that. And then number 6 is basically you can steal a card from the other team. So let's say the other team picks, we want an instant penalty. You have the card thief. You steal that card and you get that penalty. Pretty cool. So now that you know all the rules, the introduction, etc., what do you think about this football league? Do you like the concept? Do you think some of these rules should be implemented into the real football game? Do you think some of these rules will be implemented in the football game? Let me know down in the comments below. Right now, this is just played in Spain, but I'm sure this will be and will be going internationally. It will also be for the women's game starting in May, so that's pretty cool as well. To me, it's a cool concept. Some of these rules should stay outside of the real football game. I know people like Pique and other people higher up, we've seen this with the Super League, they just want to make more and more money. They don't really care about the fan experience, the football experience. They want to make as much money as fast as possible. So if they can create a game that doesn't last 90 minutes or even more with halftime, etc., then obviously they'll try and do that. Make more money in a shorter amount of time. And then again, TikTok generation, they want things fast, quickly. Their brains can't handle anything that goes on for longer than 60 seconds. maybe might be good for business, but it's definitely not good for society. But hey, that's just the way the world works, I guess. Money talks. So again, share your thoughts down in the comments below. If you enjoy this type of videos, do let me know by hitting that thumbs up button. Subscribe if you have not, and I'll see you all in the next one. Bye bye.